a Nazi regime. It's just delusional.
All right, we want to talk about that just a little bit later.
Earlier this morning, I questioned Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov at a press roundtable that was aired live on Russian television.
Some of you all the
Thank you, Mr. Foreign Minister. The world is seeing civilians being killed in Ukraine by Russian bombs. The world is hearing the lies Russia is telling about those attacks. The world is uniting to condemn those attacks and those lies. How can you defend them?
I cannot comment conjectures, and there is a great deal of these now. But, you know, if you paid your attention probably to the fact that Europe, mostly, and the United States are trying to close down all the outlets, media outlets and information sources broadcast by Russia and from Russia on how the special military operation progresses and advances and how the Ukrainian army and the neo-Nazi battalions behave towards the peaceful civilians. They rob and rip off the Donbas settlements. When they fall back, they take vehicles and property from Ukrainian residents living there. They behave like pillagers and marauders. And
yeah, it's not the invading force.
you know, there is a lot of information about the future provocations that are brewed in Mariupol and on other territories where the Ukrainians are now trying to use the civilians as a human shield. Talk to the Indians, the Arabs and the Africans that are trying to flee Ukraine now. They are not allowed. And yesterday the Indian Prime Minister spoke to the President of Russia.
Okay. So, first of all, dog, they're trying to flee because you're invading the country. What a weird fucking counter argument. Like, oh, they're trying to flee. Like, why are they fucking fleeing? Have you thought about that? It's not like they were like, yo, fuck this Ukraine shit. I hate the winter. Like, I'm going back to Nigeria. Like, I'm pretty sure they were happy originally living in Ukraine and studying and shit. Okay? So that's one. And two, here's how you know this is fucking propaganda, okay? Other than what I just mentioned. Oh, one second. Sorry, I just had to check something. Here's how you know it's fucking propaganda, because on the one hand, he's saying they're using people as human shields and not letting them leave. And on the other hand, he's talking about like the African migrants that are not being allowed to leave. It's like, no, the African migrants are not being allowed to leave because they're black, and the Ukrainian guard wanted to ensure real Ukrainians escape first, okay? If they wanted to not let anybody fucking leave, then they would not let the real Ukrainians leave either. Okay? So you're defeating your own argument if you're saying that, like, they're trying to literally, they're trying to argue from both sides of the argument.
Concerned over death of an Indian student in Kharkov. There are no Russian troops in Kharkov now, but we saw the footage like depicting foreigners trying to flee the Ukrainian soil via Russia, but and they're not allowed to do so. You know, I don't have enough time now to enumerate all the facts. Please visit our website, the website of our ministry, and you will be able to get a detailed description of what the Kiev neo-Nazi regime is now doing. You like the word killer? You know, real killers are siding with the Kiev regime.
Do you believe that President Zelensky, the first Jewish president of Ukraine, whose families were killed in the Holocaust, is a Nazi?
I think that the Nazis and neo-Nazis manipulate him. Otherwise, it is hard to account for how President Zelensky can preside in a society, over society.
Zelensky's allowance for Nazis is literally the exact same as every other country. It's an unfortunate reality, but it's true. Okay? We have Nazis in our fucking country and in our administration as well. Like when we had Stephen Miller writing white nativist immigration policy. Okay? We have more Nazis than Ukraine has in higher positions of power. Okay? And also in our military as well. Literally in our military. Okay? Zelensky's allowance or you know, him turning the other cheek to some of the fucking nationalist neo-Nazi groups in the country is real. But it's also as real as, like, you know, fucking Russia using Wagner Group, or Russia also turning a blind eye to neo-Nazi and nationalist groups within its own ranks. So it's not a, it's the unfortunate reality that you cannot fucking avoid when you cover something like this, where it's like every country, unfortunately, as of now, in this day and age, has to deal with this shit, okay?
Where neo-Nazism is rife, they make marches and torch processions.
But yeah, as I've talked about before, the best kind of propaganda is one, the best lie has a fucking grain of truth in it. Okay? That's why this is effective propaganda. Because it has a grain of truth in it that, like, Azov Battalion are Nazis, like they're a part of the National Guard. That like the Azov, not the Azov dude, but like the right sector dude in Odessa, after massive fucking protests, was given up, like was allowed to get away with murder. Like literally, there was a murder trial. He was being held. I think he like stabbed the dude who was, thank you, the dude who was fucking his girlfriend in the middle of the street. He's also potentially linked back to the trade unionist fire that killed like 46 trade unionists that Azov, the right sector paramilitary did. Okay, so that guy's a fucking Nazi, like straight up. I forget what his name is. He was on Fox News the other day. And there was an active. Paul Manafort sends his regards. Yeah, that's pretty funny that you mentioned that. A lot of this does tie back to America in really meaningful fucking ways. And it's pretty funny when you think about it. No, it wasn't CNN. He was actually on Fox News. I think they probably showed something else on CNN. He stabbed a dude who attempted to kill him. That's self-defense. Don't mess up. Oh yeah, dude, self-defense in the middle of the street. He had a fucking knife. The other dude didn't have anything. And he actually stabbed him in the back. Stabbed him to death, by the way, in self-defense. You're fucking crazy, dude. What a psychotic take. Holy shit. Also, that dude is literally just a fucking Nazi, okay? Like, straight up Nazi. Shut the fuck up. Don't try to defend that guy. You have disinfo about Stranenko? What the fuck? See? They found out who I was talking about. That was the name I was thinking of.
3 months of simping hacks.
These guys beat the shit out of fucking Roma people and totally get away with it. They're like football hooligans. They're fucking Nazis. There's like a million photos of this dude literally running around with a swastika on his fucking t-shirt. Well, not a full-blown swastika, but like the Ukrainian the Ukrainian like dog whistle swastika. No, I'm not talking about the wolf. This is, yeah, it is Stranenko. The chatter was correct. He's saying it's disinformation. Yeah, now he comes up as just a Ukrainian civil activist, lawyer, and YouTuber. He's the head of the NGO Nebai Duzi and a former board member of head of the Odessa regional branch of the Right Sector, an active participant in the 2014 Ukrainian Revolution and one of the founders of People's Lustration. Just a casual civil rights activist who happened to be the head of the Odessa regional branch of Right Sector. Stronenko was the target of 3 assassination attempts. In 2018, he became visible in the media after the third attempt. It's believed that the manhunt was organized by supporters of the anti-Maidan and their sympathizers. During their self-defense, one of the 2 attackers died and the second fled abroad. As a result, Stronenko has been accused of exceeding the limits of self-defense. The police formally charged him with premeditated murder, possession of weapons without a permit, and then fucking what do you call it? Actual fucking protest broke out, like straight up. And they released him. Andrei Radionov, the senior prosecutor in the case, refused to sign the charges, claiming that the case and evidence in the case are biased and do not comply with the legislation of Ukraine. The case became well publicized, and thus, on June 12th, hundreds of activists gathered near the court building in support of Stronenko. Hundreds of security officers were called upon to restrain the people. Missing information? Interesting. Wait. Why is this missing information prior to his life in 2018? What happened to this Wikipedia page? That's really interesting. That's really weird. I'm wondering what happened in his life that was a little bit more I don't know, interesting than whatever the fuck he's doing now as a YouTuber. It's showing it was modified at the bottom. I don't know how to fucking, I'm not a nerd. I don't understand how this YouTube shit works. Or not YouTube, sorry. How this Wikipedia shit works.
You're all sassy.
It says March 1st. This is a rough translation from Ukrainian. Oh. Very bottom, middle.
Looking hella cute, Arjan.
Bottom left, March 1st. Oh, this page was last edited on March 1st. Okay, there it is. How can you view history? View history at the top and click random dates. Oh, here. Couple is inappropriate. Spelling, a lot of the grammar has been corrected. Rescued orphaned refs. Not imprisoned. I can't tell what the fuck's going on here. Like, I can't. Hey, control edit, you limb dick nerd. Go to the talk tab at the top to see the nerds argue. A commons file used on this page or its Wikidata item has been nominated for speedy deletion. You can see the reason for deletion of the file description. What? Oh, they're trying to delete the right sector. Oh, they're trying to delete him being the fucking leader of the Odessa branch of the right sector from the article. Or no, it's not. That's not true. I was wrong. No. That's wrong. That's wrong. I clicked on the wrong thing. What is this? The source is, what is it? All photos on the site, authors or employees of RBC Ukraine are posted on the terms of Creative Commons. What is it? The file is what? What is this? I don't understand. What the fuck? Dude, god damn it. I hate this shit. I can't. I don't understand how this nerd shit works. Please explain. It's just a picture. Anyway, listen. It doesn't even fucking matter. I don't know how the fuck we got here. Oh, god damn it. We got so derailed. Where the fuck was I? What was I talking about? I'm such a boomer. I hate this. Great thing you don't have to do research for your job. I mean, there's a difference between like doing research and knowing how to fucking knowing where to look for YouTube or Wikipedia edits. You fucking stupid nerd. Oh my god. Oh, I'm sorry. If you don't know how to do a fucking Wikipedia edit, if you don't know how to do a Wikipedia edit, then you obviously don't know how to do research on anything. I keep saying YouTube instead of Wikipedia. It's called info literacy, and it's actually hard.
2 months slays Grand Frisch.
Research is when you look at Wikipedia edits. Okay, let's continue. Where the fuck were we? Okay, let's get. I want to hear what else the Russian foreign minister was saying.
President Zelensky allocates his personal guards from his company, and they train constantly, studying acts of sabotage and warfare in urban areas, and that is all happening under President Zelensky. And when he keeps saying that his grandfather was at war, look at the laws that President Zelensky, which claims to be a global citizen, well, look at the laws about the indigenous nations and ethnicities of Ukraine, not mentioning the Russian nation. How can not a neo-Nazi president support laws banning the Russian language at school, which is horrible, not only in education, but in everyday life? They imposed a prohibition on just asking for drugs and medications.
Oh, by the way, this was from fucking Radio Free Liberty, okay? Radio Free Europe, which is literally America's State Department outlet, okay? This is the CIA writing this. Ukrainian ex-paramilitary leader is suspected of premeditated murder, okay? This is like Russia Today, but for America, okay? They are the ones who are writing about this. They are considering they are the ones who have fucking funneled weapons and actually taught and educated the Azov battalion and have beefed up and have had congresspersons and senators meet with leaders that are friendly with the right sector and also with Svoboda and the most fascist motherfuckers in Ukraine. They have no reason to continue with this line of rhetoric if it wasn't 100% fucking true. Remember, their biases lay on the side of defending people like this. A controversial former leader of a far-right Ukrainian paramilitary group says he's officially suspected of premeditated murder and a possession of an illegal bladed weapon in the killing of a man he claims was self-defense. Serhiy Sternenko, who once led the right sector group in the city of Odessa, wrote in a post on Facebook that the Ukrainian security service had handed him a document informing him he was a suspect in the case. Sternenko was attacked by two men late in the evening while walking with his girlfriend. He fought off the attacker, suffering numerous head injuries and cut into his arms in the process. He injured one of the assailants, who later died in the hospital. I was wrong. I thought that it was a dude who was fucking his girlfriend or some shit. I was wrong about that. He was actually he actually ended up stabbing and killing someone who out of the two people that attacked him. There was no murder, but necessary self-defense, which was confirmed by an investigator earlier that he called the attacker suspects, asked for a knife. Several forensic evaluations established that it was not a bladed weapon, Sternenko wrote. That's fucking bullshit. The SBU confirmed that the Sternenko was a suspect of the case, saying that after Sternenko defended himself using his knife, the attacker fled the scene, but Sternenko, whose life health were no longer in danger, chased one of them and stabbed him several times, inflicting wounds that led to the man's death. Do you understand why I said he fucking stabbed him in the back multiple times and killing him? On May 18th, when hundreds of Sternenko supporters rallied in front of the SBU building, the SBU said Sternenko was not a suspect in the case. He was questioned on that day, told the supporters he was given the status of victim in one of the cases and the status of witness in another one. The attack was the third against Sternenko in 3 months. Also, he's still a fucking Nazi, so, you know, suck my dick. Americans in the chat be like, no, someone attacked him and then he chased that person down and fucking stabbed him to death. That's self-defense. Any proof he's a Nazi? Yes, he was the leader of the Odessa right sector. Holy fucking shit. There's photos of him literally wearing a swastika dog whistle t-shirt. God damn it, dude. He was the leader of the Odessa right sector. What the fuck?
Let's go 10 months. Thank you for your service, King.
He was 18 years old? Oh shit, you're right, dude. He's my bad. Source on right sector being a Nazi? Oh, dude, come on. Is this really what we're doing? Is this where we're at? You're derailing the conversation. If your side, if you want Ukrainians to look better in Western media right now, you having this conversation with me is literally the opposite of what you want to be doing. Because I'm right and you're fucking wrong. And now you're just gonna, you know, this must be like fucking actual pro-Russian people coming in here to constantly be like, oh, let's defend the right sector. So he keeps talking about right sector. Because there's no fucking shot that... About 570 people died since 2004 in Russia by the hands of Nazis and other races. This is so much worse than the Nazis in Ukraine. Double standards and pointing out Ukrainian Nazis is so hilarious to of Russian people. I am from Russia. They didn't give a damn about it, but they want to denazify Ukraine. Yeah, I think that the denazification argument is fucking bullshit. I don't agree with that at all. I have already mentioned that time and time again. It's a fucking bullshit argument. But when they say some shit like this, and then chatters are like, what do they mean? What do they mean? The reason why I fucking talk about it is that, you know, the reason why I talk about it is because people keep asking me what the fuck it is. Right sector are more or less Nazi source, a citizen of Odessa.
In a pharmacy in Russian, and in the Crimea in Russia, they have 3 official languages: Russian, the Crimean Tatar language, and Ukrainian language. And any national of Russia living in the Crimea has a right to turn to local authorities, to an office, speaking his vernacular language, and they have to respond in that language. I can enumerate facts for quite long. You know those striking images and salient things, and you don't have time to peruse and read the facts and just spend at least half an hour visiting our website, the Foreign Ministry website and the Defense Ministry website. You will not be allowed to raise your voices. I know that, but a French journalist, you know, yesterday actually, President Macron.
I don't have a sister. Why is he saying your sister is so hot? Is that like a new 4chan thing? Claiming that I have a sister or something?
Said that accusing Zelensky and Ukraine of the rampant nationalism is a lies. Well, he responded to him, but his compatriot, a French journalist, responded to him. She visited Donbass and she described the bombings and shellings of schools and the killings of 2 women that worked in that school. And she put to shame all the Western politicians that turn a deaf ear, a blind eye onto that. She wasn't allowed to put it on the air, but you know, it's available on social media. Please learn more facts. Don't try to pretend that this American action movie is developing according to your plan of absolute good and absolute evil.
You get the sense there why the American Treasury Department calls him Putin's chief propagandist. I mean, calling Zelensky the Jewish president of Ukraine a neo-Nazi, denying what the whole world is seeing with our eyes on the killings of civilians. You also heard that comment he made about how I like the word killer. He was pretty clearly responding to this interview I had with President Biden last year. So you know Vladimir Putin. You think he's a killer?
I do.